Your voice, your vote. 646 now. Representative Mike Levin currently holds the 49th congressional district seat as he faced off against Republican challenger Brian Marriott.
So far, he's taken an early lead, 51% to 49%, with about half the vote in so far. Congressman Levin joins us now live in studio to talk about these early numbers. First, thank you very much for being here. And what's your reaction when you see just a 2% margin between yourself and your challenger as you wake up this morning?
Well, thanks for having me. We always knew this was going to be a really close election, and we are thrilled with where we are. I'm very confident that when all is said and done, we will prevail. We currently have a lead of about 3,600 votes, and when you look at what's outstanding, what hasn't yet been reported, it's a lot of the vote-by-mail ballots that came in late. We did extremely well with the vote-by-mail ballots. Where our opponent did well was with the vote center ballots, and what's left to count is primarily the vote by mail. So we like where we are. We're just going to wait every single day, and we'll just see what that count is little by little as it goes in California. But we're thrilled, and I'm so grateful to our team for working so hard here in the home stretch to get out the vote.
President Biden swept in here last week to support you. That came together very quickly. How much do you think his visit helped?
Well, I definitely think it generated a lot of enthusiasm, and it also reinforced the national importance of this race. And as we saw last night, these are incredibly close results nationwide for control of the House, control of the Senate. And there were about 30 races across the country that were true toss-up races such as ours. And I certainly think that having the president come to speak to our accomplishments over the past 20 months definitely helped with turnout, and particularly turnout among maybe some Democrats who might not have voted.
There were a lot of talk and a lot of pundits talking about a potential red wave sweeping over control of Congress. We haven't seen that yet, but there is an indication that Republicans might take control of the House. How do you work then as a minority member of Congress in the next 2 years if that comes to fruition? And how does that change what Congress is going to be able to do if there's a Republican control of the House?
Well, the good news is I have been working across the aisle ever since I've gotten to Congress. I've gotten 20 bipartisan bills signed into law, both by the former president and by the current president. A lot of the work that we do has nothing to do with partisanship, caring for our veterans, getting the nuclear waste off the coast, making sure our rail corridor between San Diego and LA is operational for the long term. Infrastructure, those are all things that are really bipartisan, and I'm excited to continue that work regardless of who has the gavels, although it's very close right now, so we'll just have to wait and see until all those results come in.
Do you see this race being as close as it is as a message? And if so, if you return to office, will you change anything, the way you do things?
Well, we have tried to work across the aisle and to be a representative for all of our constituents. I always say representative is not only my job title, it is my job description. And I'm very mindful of the fact that there were a huge number of people that didn't vote at all as well, and we need to do all we can to represent everybody in the community as best we can and be their voice. And that's what I take great pride in doing. Our congressional staff, both in DC and here in the district in San Diego and up in Orange County, the nuts and bolts of what we do every day might surprise the average person, helping with everything from veterans casework to getting people their Social Security and Medicare. So that's the work that we do day in and day out. It has nothing to do with partisanship. Of course, the national narrative, they like to emphasize the partisan and the real polarized nature of politics. But at the end of the day, we're trying to make policy and trying to help people rather than just make a point.
Really quickly, I'm guessing you'll be hitting refresh on the Registrar of Voters website just like we will all day. What is your plan, though, for the next few days as you wait for results to come in?
Well, the good news is that the registrars update about once a day, so we might be able to get a few hours of rest in between these updates. But yeah, around once a day we'll be seeing those updates, and that goes on for the next few weeks. And we'll just have to wait and see each and every day. But being up by about 3,600 votes, we really like where we are. We're very confident, as I said, that when all the votes are counted, when all is said and done, we will prevail.
49th District Congressman Mike Levin, I know these are busy days for you. Thank you so much for making some time for us.
Thank you for having me.